For our 20th anniversary, we have Michael Morgan very excited about his direction of La Traviata, a beloved traditional piece of opera.
Which is a favorite since time began.
I think it's going to be a dazzling production. Very excited about what I'm hearing about how it's all coming together with the sets and the costuming. That's going to happen, open July 9th.
Traviata, of course, is one of the staples of the operatic repertory.
A masterpiece by Verdi.
And then Mark Foehringer first came on board here helping me as a co-director on one of the productions I was stage directing.
The following year, we started working on Faust together, so we came in as co-directors and had a blast doing that. He sort of, said, these are the things we need to do, and then I just kind of went out and did them. And then last year, I directed Lucia di Lammermoor.
And is also a very renowned choreographer and has his own dance company.
So I really like directing. It's a very different experience to direct people that don't have a movement background. My company is collaborating with Festival Opera, so we will have professional dancers in La Traviata doing some of the dances specifically choreographed to dance.
So you can be sure that anything he's involved in will have more dance than it would have otherwise, given just the regular opera director.
I've seen the opera, in many different ways. I participated as a dancer, as the chorus boy for La Traviata. It doesn't really have a lot of dancing in it, and we are really trying to work on that and sort of come up with ways to use dance a little bit more in the opera.
But the great thing about Mark also, that because he's not an opera director all the time, is that he brings new insight into these pieces. He sees them from different angles. He looks at things and goes, well, why can't you do that? And if you're in the traditional opera, if you've seen traditional opera stagings all the time, you think, well, no one ever does that.
And why can't she move that arm when she's singing that line? And why aren't they, that's just the way I look. Or why can't they use the right foot when they're coming down the stairs? Why does it have to be the left? And it's probably because the set is designed a certain way and they haven't been trained in movement.
And Mark is there to ask, well, why not do that?
So I really love working with Michael Morgan, and partly it is because he, eggs me on. He's never saying, don't do that or cut, so he just kind of lets it fly.
And so it makes the standard operas more interesting to have someone come in from the outside of the regular system and have another look at these pieces.
I think for today's audience, it's really important to reach out to all different types of audience members. So I do put a lot of dance in my work. It doesn't need to be a structured dance, but choreography is basically moving your body in a pattern that supports either the music or the theme. As a choreographer for ballet, I was already focused on the narrative and focused on breaking out details and really developing things to keep the storyline more alive, looking for things that could possibly take things in a different direction without losing the storyline. So I came in to do that, and I guess this is because of growing up in South America and watching the telenovelas, and everything in South America is very high drama and arms raising, and nobody can tell a story without moving, correct? It's sort of like Italian. So I've always learned to tell stories. I usually choreograph everything to the nines. And it, of course, doesn't work for singers. So if I can go like full out, here's what I want you to do, and I want you to go there, and then water it down, it works better for me than having them do only the movement they like to do while they're singing, and then try to build movement onto it, which I love too. I love the collaboration with the singers. I love that I can throw out a bunch of ideas. I can do blocking this is what I really need it to be, and here are some choices for you to make while you're doing the blocking that I actually need, which gives them a sense of freedom, and it gives me sort of what I want, And part of what I want is for them to feel really comfortable doing what I am asking them to do. I think what's special about La Traviata is its appeal. Its appeal to today's audiences. I mean, if you go to the movies, what is the material about? It's about the same thing that La Traviata is about. Somebody that's struggling to find love, falls in love with the person that the heart is leading him to. She's a courtesan. She has many men, you know, and here he is stuck in this thing that he cannot get away from, and it really takes a different direction. It's an action flick, high drama action flick, soap opera-esque action flick. It's really interesting. The music is beautiful. Rebecca Davis, who's the soprano that's singing Violetta, has a beautiful voice. And I think that what Festival Opera is trying to do by having a classic opera every summer and then one that's a little different, this is the year to come to Festival Opera to see this classical opera.